I was informed that the agenda has been agreed by the colleagues as it is. So I will do my welcoming remarks. Because it is absolutely important that we are together today without making more remarks. I'd just like to do it formally. Your Excellency President Joseph Kabila Kabange, honorable ministers from our two countries, Your Excellencies, our respective ambassadors, I always want to call him the general. I forget that he's now a diplomat. Senior government officials, members of the media. I'm delighted to and honored to welcome you, Mr. President, and your esteemed delegation. Considering the strong and close collaboration between our two countries, it is always exhilarating to receive and meet with our brothers and sisters from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Your Excellency, you recall that we have been working together for the past 20 years. This year, 2017, our binational commission is turning 13, making it one of the oldest binational commissions South Africa has with any country. That today we are holding this 10th session speaks volumes of the extent and depth of our collective commitment to forge a strategic cooperation and partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, we have used the BNC mechanism to identify critical areas of cooperation. The first decade of our BNC was largely consumed by efforts in assisting the DRC in areas of international capacity building. This included the training of the DRC National Army, training of police, technical, electrical support, training of diplomats, as well as important public service censors. Your Excellency, it is clear to us that we have made substantial progress over the years. The DRC of 2017 is no longer the DRC of 2004, when we started our collaboration within the context of the binational commission. The DRC is now politically stable and the security situation has improved. Where there are still challenges, the government of the DRC, with the assistance of the region, continent, and international community, is addressing those. In this regard, we encourage encourage you, Mr. President, and your government to continue on this path. Mr. President, we gather here at a time when your country is going through a political transition following the December 2016 political agreement. This agreement charted a process that should lead to the next elections. We congratulate you, Mr. President, on the progress achieved thus far and the manner in which you have handled that process. The people of the DRC need to determine and decide their internal political future. The best way to do so is through negotiations and dialogue. The people of the DRC have proven in the past their ability to dialogue. We wish to reiterate that dialogue and not conflict is the best way to resolve problems. In this regard, we wish to assure you of our continued solidarity and support. Mr. President, the meeting of the BNC today provides us with the opportunity to review and assess progress in the implementation of identified projects between our two countries. I trust that the report from the ministers will set the tone for closer cooperation and signal a strategic approach to address the triple challenges of unemployment, poverty, and inequality in our respective countries and our region. To adequately respond to these triple challenges, we need to strengthen our economic cooperation by increasing trade and investment between our two countries and by enhancing business and people-to-people cooperation. Guided by the SADC industrialization strategy and AU Agenda 2063, we should be able to consolidate our work and that of the region. Ladies and gentlemen, among the projects that should be pursued with great vigor is the Grand Inga hydropower project. We also need to continue to prioritize cooperation in such critical areas as defense and security, infrastructure, energy, agriculture, trade and investment, mining, health and capacity building, to mention but a few. I am convinced, Mr. President, that our interaction today will present us with an opportunity to focus and reprioritize our cooperation for the mutual benefit of our two countries. Allow me, therefore, to renew our warm greetings and welcome to you and your esteemed delegation. We hope that you will enjoy your short stay in our country. I look forward to the report of the ministers, which I hope will help us to consolidate and deepen strategic partnership. I thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much, Asante Sana. Over to you, Mr. President.
Your Excellency, President Jacob Zuma, honorable ministers and senior officials, I'd like once again, Your Excellency, to thank you for the invitation for us to participate in this particular biannual summit of the Joint Commission. And of course, on behalf of my delegation, we are very glad to be here. I asked my delegation when we were doing a briefing in the morning, why is it that our brothers and sisters in South Africa decided to organize this biannual commission on a Sunday? Because I have a lot of Catholics in my delegation, and it's a sin for them not to have gone to church. But they corrected and informed me that, in fact, it was our proposal. So we are the sinners. But be it a Sunday, it would also have been on a Monday. The most important thing, Your Excellency, is I believe what you've just said. This biannual commission is after 13 years, 10 years of hard work, and the fact that we are holding it on a Sunday indicates that we are continuing with that hard work. I'd like to thank all those who over the years, present here or not, over the last 10, 13 years, have worked tirelessly in order for us to achieve and attain what we've been able to attain, especially in as far as cooperation is concerned. And I'd like to indicate one or two of those areas of cooperation that have been beneficial to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and I believe with the exchange of experience also to our South African brothers and sisters. One of those is defense cooperation, which is an area where South Africa has been very active, has participated actively in the training of units of our armed forces. And this, of course, has gone a long way in allowing the Congo slowly but surely to start or to build its capacity, defense capacity. And definitely this is an area of cooperation that we'd like to see us continue. The other area is, of course, police. We've had a lot of cooperation in this particular domain and a lot of success. I'd like to recognize. Diplomacy is one of the areas, and I believe Your Excellency mentioned that we've had a number of our diplomats trained both here and in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Briefly, capacity building has been the main axis of our cooperation. Do we still have challenges irrespective of these areas of cooperation, be the answer is yes. Challenges are inherent to any country, anywhere in the world, inherent also to any society, and especially a nation like ours, which is going through the phase of post-conflict, trying to rebuild its infrastructure and structures. But as you mentioned, Your Excellency, these challenges are not at the same level as the challenges that we had 20 years ago, 15 or 10 or even 5 years ago. So we'll continue to deal with those challenges together, ourselves back home, and we'll definitely continue to make it such that the cooperation that we have goes a long way in allowing us to deal with those. You talked of dialogue as being important. We recognize that dialogue is an important part of governance way back in 2001, I believe. Well, prior to that, because we had already started the inter-Congolese dialogue, and who will ever forget that it culminated in Sun City with the signature that allowed us to reunify the country through dialogue, organized the first elections way back in 2006. And of course, since then, we've continued with the dialogue. And dialogue in the Congo, I've always stated, is permanent. We've always and will continue always to use dialogue as a tool of governance. But the objective of the dialogue, there has to be objectives to any dialogue. And the objective of the current dialogue that we held was government of national unity. Let's organize elections together, as a nation, together as political parties, civil society. And we still have that objective in mind and in our sights. As for the future of our cooperation, in this same room, I believe it was 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I insisted on the fact that cooperation for us, we already have groundwork for that, so the foundation for that, and that my intention and our intention, I believe we adopted that, was to make sure that now becomes a people-to-people cooperation, interaction between the two nations and the people of the two nations. Have we already achieved that? I believe we are on the way to achieving that, and probably we should continue to work towards achieving that particular objective, because in the long run, it's what's going to cement this cooperation for very, very many years to come. But the future is also the future of strategic projects. Strategic projects in energy. Energy is one of the areas that we've identified over the last 5 years. Of course, we'll be doing the review of what we've been able to achieve over the last 2 or 3 years. But this is an area which we believe we should push very hard in order for us to start seeing signs of success. A lot of work has been done, but yet a lot still needs to be done. The future is also economic cooperation, infrastructure, mining, the Congo being also a huge mining country. I believe the exchange of experience is necessary, is important in order for us to move forward. Probably, and that will be my conclusion, probably what has been hindering much more progress, or a lot of progress, I believe, is the fact that there's quite a lot of bureaucracy. There's quite a lot of bureaucracy that we also have to do away with. How would we go about doing that with a lot of bureaucrats around us? Now, that's the question. But I insisted at the last biannual commission that there was quite a lot of bureaucracy. And if we did not take heed, then it was going to hinder progress. And I've seen signs of that. In any case, Your Excellency, I believe that there is quite a lot for us to go through, especially after we have listened or have gone through the reports of the various commissions. And thanks a lot, although it's a very short stay, we'll try to enjoy that very, very short stay on this Sunday in Pretoria. It's not Pretoria, it's Tshwane. Thanks a lot, Your Excellency.
Well, thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much indeed for those warm words. I would imagine that our friends at this point that might gracefully roll. Because we are now getting very close. Yes.
I have a rap. Well, those were live proceedings from Pretoria where President Jacob Zuma was, of course, hosting his DRC counterpart, Joseph Kabila, and, of course, in those bilateral talks concerning a number of issues. And President Zuma said that they need to identify the critical areas of assistance as well as challenges such as unemployment, poverty, and inequality that all need to be expedited. President Zuma said that to respond to these, they can work on strengthening the economic as well as business cooperation, as well as enhancing the people-to-people relations. President Kabila said it's very vital, especially in the current times, to look for new methods that are sustainable and effective, as well as creating our very own reforms that are not of Western influence or origin. Let's take a quick look at your weather news now.